I do not like this cell phone. I do not like this watchtower. I do not like this guard tower. This electronic leash. This thing right here. Yeah, this thing right here. This thing I'm talking into. That's your electronic leash. That's your electronic guard tower. They've got us all controlled by that. And it is wired up from here to the moon and back. Now, I woke up with some really bad leg cramps. I'm in a lot of pain. I took some action yesterday, which is something I don't usually do. I try to conserve resources, but I am spending this fiat like it is going out of style, which of course it is going out of style. It is illegal, unconscionable, unethical. It is grand theft. So I'm here because I really would like to have more resources. I'd like to have more of that stupid ass fiat currency because there's some books I want to get. There's pieces of this puzzle I need to put together. Sort of two books by Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson has a nice perspective. I don't like it much because he's kind of racist. He doesn't like white folks. But he's got a perspective. And it appears to be an accurate, valid, useful perspective. And he goes after those of us placed here after his kind and his people had been on the planet for like a couple million years. So he and his people, his kind, were here first. They seem to have the best perspective. They bless everything. They walk outside. It is all sacred. That weed that you want to pull up out of the ground and throw away, that to them is sacred. Don't get me wrong. A lot of it's romanticized. A lot of it's really not. It's not accurate. We know that they're very pragmatic in Alaska, and they won't stop fishing when the fish are in just because they're afraid they're going to run out. And they will take more fish than they need. Kind of what they accuse us white guys of doing all the time. He has a valid perspective. He puts things together in a way that I think will be helpful if I can get past the racism, to be honest with you. And there's another book that's quite expensive by a Jewish gentleman on the end of the Earth Age. And I've been meaning to buy that for a while. And it's almost $60. I need that book as well. Why? Because I'm trying to put together the pieces of this puzzle. Because everybody says nobody knows when the end comes. Nobody knows when the Messiah returns. Nobody knows this. Nobody knows that. I got news for you. It was all set up a long time ago, right at the beginning of creation. So the patterns are there. They can be decoded. They can be read. They can be understood. They are known. They might not be known to you or me just yet, but they are known. It's coming faster than what you think. The year of our destruction, the year of the rebirth of our earth, is 2046. 22 years down the road. That's it. Now, is that it? Well, according to Nostradamus and his 13 houses, 13 zodiac signs, not the 12. He claims we're due for another 300 or 400 years and then it's all taken apart. I don't know. Nostradamus is kind of an odd dude. Edgar Casey, another unusual fellow who read the Bible every year, all the way through in a year. It's kind of fast if you ask me. I seem to take 18 months if I stay on it. I use topical magnesium on my leg to try to get the calm out the horrible cramps. Last night I didn't need anything. The night before, I didn't need anything. The night before that, it was excruciating painful as well. So something's wrong with me. I think it's the medical care, to be honest with you. I think it's all poisons. I don't think the doctors know what the hell they're doing. I'm challenging my specialists because they don't know jack. They don't know shit. They don't know squat. They don't care to know. They just want their paychecks. They didn't want anybody rocking the boat and telling them how to do things. I got to give this guy a bunch of crap. Motivate him so he will look things up and actually do his job. Yeah, I know he's controlled. I know they put the screws to those guys in medical school and the whole time. Why? Because they want to kill us. And they're using their medical doctors to hide the three big vectors. Actually, there's so many ways in which they're killing us. It's just not funny. That's why I want to read these books and this stuff. I know it's not the Bible, Dr. Kip. I know that. It all seems to intersect, though. And what I'm trying to do is reverse Babylon. You know, we had the Tower of Babel. The first story, the first Babylon. The one we're dealing with today is the third Babylon, not the first one, not the second one. The second one is what took Israel and what took Judah out. They were Yahweh's agent in administering Yahweh's judgment against the northern house of Israel and the southern house of Judah. Things haven't changed very much, have they? Well, I think there's a tower right in the middle of the moon aimed right at us, keeping us here or locking our souls in, doing something to us that I don't understand. It's like another guard tower. And they got it aimed at the planet, keeping us down, I think. I don't think it's up there being very helpful. And my vision a few months ago said, hey, destroy that tower. You got to take that tower out that's in the middle of the moon to free up the people on the earth from the slavery that's going on. Well, it's pretty wild, isn't it? We have the Tower of Babel in the book of Genesis, which Yahweh, along with his buddies, came down and destroyed. If you're the only one, then who the heck are your friends? And are you hanging out with good influences? Have you chosen your friends wisely? Man, that's the lesson I heard all the time when growing up. Be careful who you choose for your friends. If you're a friend of America, be really careful because America's not to be trusted. Yeah, you want everybody to kiss your ass out there because you think they're the latest and the greatest. And the rest of them know this is a slave society. And they're letting you go on about your way because you're so frickin' filled up with yourself. So damn, I was going to say goddamn, narcissistic. You can't see straight. But narcissism, lovers of self, that's in the Bible's end times. The crazy thing that even some of my friends are severely narcissistic and haven't woke up to the fact one bit. They point to everybody else being narcissistic and their narcissism, but it couldn't be them. No way, baby. Them? What, me? The narcissist? Yeah, I know. When somebody wants to control you, they're going to claim you're narcissistic. Yeah. I got rid of my housekeeper because of disrespect. Known her for damn near 20 years. But after disrespect from January till now, screw her. Don't need her. I don't clean as good. I know. But I get it done. She's not as good at some of that stuff anyway. I do better on some of that than she does. Not much. But, you know, I get paid nicely. I pay myself. Saves me some money. I've done so much for so many people that forget, do not remember, do not appreciate, and have no frickin' respect. If there's no respect, there can be no love. So don't tell me. I guess everything goes bad eventually. It seems like that to me. Would never have thought that would go bad. But I finally confronted her on it and wrote her off on it. I'm pretty fed up with me helping other people and them not realizing or acknowledging that, and then riding my ass, pulling my hair like I have any hair to pull. My leg is calming down. Those cramps are really horrible. I'm trying to get my medical treatments lined up properly and get a little bit more out of the medical system. You see, this is not medical care, and it's not medical insurance. These are medical benefits because they don't do what's best for you. They dictate to you. They're nothing but dictators. That's right. It's in the Bible. Pharmacopoeia, pharmacy, sorceries, big pharma. They are bigger and badder than the money changers. The money changers are all evil, but more evil than that are their pharmaceutical industries, independently of each other. The two biggest financial trusts are not your frickin' international banks. I know. I sit back and I harp about the banks all the time. Keep forgetting the big deal are those big pharma in the background who are busy and intent upon ruling over us, if not outright killing us, genociding us. Oh, and in case you're wondering, the white population has been reduced drastically. We peaked in approximately 1933 at about 33% of the world's population. And today we've gotten to the point where we're below 3%. Now, you can't tell me that's an anomaly. It's a fluke. It just happened by accident. Oh, no. This is their final solution. You see, they're always guilty of what they accuse everybody else. Their final solution is to kill all white Christianity, to kill Western civilization. Of course, they've labeled us Amalek. They've framed us up as being Yahweh's enemies forever, which gives them license to go after us and kill us, according to the rabbi in New York City, right? I don't know if that's the right kind of rabbi or not. I have no idea. But their intent, even our Native American brothers and sisters, especially the wise women, the ones who have visions, they reported to the rest of the natives, we've been having visions of the future, and our white brothers were no longer among us. They warned us a couple of decades ago about this genocide. So, we dropped somewhere below 7%, 6%, and about, real recent, 2013 approximately. And here we are, 2023, 2024, a dozen years later, and we're less than half now. They genocided 200 million of us in the last century. It's nothing compared to what they've done so far in this century. They've gotten 1 billion of us. But they control the news, they control the journals, they control it all. So you and I are not going to hear about that. And they're working on their 2nd billion, and this time they're going for slightly more than that. They are going to take the entire population of the planet down in short order by 48%, meaning 52% will remain. And they've already began their attack. This time they began it through a series of weapons, one of which is I hear of reports across the country of people with hearing problems like I'm experiencing myself. I just heard that from a friend, one friend. She's smart. She's not educated. And she's told me about several people making reports to her. We have a new bioweapon, some new technology being used against us. They just used it recently and we're not catching it. We are missing it. And then one of my physician friends is telling me, did you know that they can wipe out your sense of taste, sense of smell, using frequency weapons? So what are they doing to wipe out the hearing? I don't know. But it's kind of trippy, kind of hallucinogenic in a way. It's got qualities about it that are knocking me off my rocker. Now, I've got some resilience built into me from my training that you don't have. You're never going to get. Well, most of you aren't going to get it. Very few people can survive it, can deal with it. I'm not so sure I have done that either. I may already be dead and don't not know it. So I'm not so sure that I escaped. Babylon's ruling. We have a one world government system. I didn't catch it, but it's on the back of our silver dimes. The Mercury silver dime used to have the fasces, this bundle of sticks with the axe head on it, indicating that's what they were doing against us. The war was being waged right then. And then, at the time Ike took over, they changed the obverse side of this dime of silver. It looks similar. You got this vertical symbol, lipstick-shaped symbol. But now it's the torch. I never heard about the torch of Satan before. I didn't realize that that's what's in the Statue of Liberty's hands. I also didn't realize that I knew the Statue of Liberty was a gift from the French, but I never realized it was a gift from their Orient Lodge. She rules over us. They rule over us by symbols. They love the god of war. And as long as they worship the god of war, they are lavished with all kinds of cash and prizes. Just like the women, lavish with cash and prizes. For what? Breaching the contract. So before they even begin the contract, they've already planned on their exit with the cash and the prizes. What are they going to get out of this guy when they divorce him? What's he got that I can take? And I just got to meet, a year or so, and then I get half of his stuff. It's not very fair, is it? No, it's not. But that's part of the judicial rule in the United States of America. And I'm having trouble with that, folks. We have to go with the obvious. Yet the obvious is kind of an illusion to throw our asses off. Now, Sabrina's out there. Looks like she might be Sephardic. My friend, who I'm trying to put, brainy friend, who says she's got to get a hold of her, she's Sephardic. They're brainy people. But they're just regular assholes, man. I mean, there's nothing special about them. They screw up like the rest of us. They got foibles, they got strengths. They're like the rest of us. But yet, these evil ones are putting them, actually, they're putting the women in front of us, in front of themselves, aren't they? They're hiding behind the skirts of these women. They're hiding behind the skirts of the Ashkenazis. Wow. Nice work if you can get it. Not really. And the whole world's onto them and realizing what they've been doing. And they just genocided 1 billion of us with their bioweapons. And they ain't even way through the death toll on the first release. They got another 1 billion to go, a little over 1 billion to go through on the first one. Yeah, it's got a hidden payload inside of it, according to the defector from China who worked on that shit. Thank God for her. May she rest. May she enjoy her life May she have a peaceful life in the state of New York. I don't know why the hell she chose New York, but that's where she is. God, New York upper state is beautiful. I got to admit, the rolling hills, those broadleaf deciduous trees. Oh, they're so gorgeous. It's too bad the people are so fucked up there. Nope, it's enemy territory. I say we kick them out of the Union. I say we kick them in California out of the Union, and the way we do that is we say, hey, we can no longer fund you federally on any of this stuff. Why? Because you violate the Constitution. What? You think you're free, that you should be able to do that because they're your people and you'll dictate what's right in your borders? No, baby. We have limits on the government by the Constitution. You know, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, and then there's the original 13 amendments, all the way to the original 13th Amendment. No, if you're going to violate any of those rights for your population and your borders, we're kicking your ass out. We're not giving you any money. We're not defending you. We might wall you up. We might not allow you to do any business with the rest of us because you got some fucking stupid disease and we don't want it going around to the rest of us. No, we need to secede them. We need to excommunicate them. We need to kick their asses to the curb. Massachusetts is one in particular. They made so much money there, the old families off slavery, it wasn't funny. They make me sick. And they have to pretend that they're social justice warriors and they do gooder than you or I. They are better than you or I. Oh, hell, they're just devil's own children. We need to broaden up, folks. It ain't just they hide among the Jews and behind the Jews. They're hiding everywhere, baby. They have intermarried, intermixed, intermingled. They'll have sex with anybody. They'll have children with anyone. There's a lot of Chinese Jews as well, who aren't Jews, fake Jews, Edomites. What do you think Mao Zedong was? And Henry Kissinger went over there as Mao was dying, saying, don't be so eager, don't be so quick to die. We all love you, Uncle Mao. We appreciate you for the genocides and the examples you put for the rest of us and how you kicked ass over here in this continent. Don't be so fast to leave. We love you, Henry Kissinger. And we let those people live among us freely, give them citizenship and protect their asses, like Jorge Schwartz. You call George Soros. What about Mr. Gates? My God, I wish I was dictator just so I could take Mr. Gates into custody, hand them over to the poor people in India who lost their daughters because of his bullshit. Then I'd like to send over the Bushes to Iraq and apologize to the people in Iraq and say, we fucked up. Here's the fellow who did a lot of that stuff. If you need more, let us know. We'll gladly deliver them to you for the purposes of your justice. However, when you're done with this asshole, we want him back because we got to take up our beef with him too. I mean, if there's anything left, you know, if you decide that's it, you're gonna do to him what he did his dad did, or what they did to Saddam Hussein. So be it. He deserves it. That family, complete with their son Barack Obama, deserve it. No, folks, they've been playing a horrible, nasty game with us. And I know you're going to say, well, Christians forgive. Dr. Kent, you have to kiss their hiney's and forgive them. You have to make up. That's what's required. Jesus will pick flowers for you all day long. He's not allowed to do anything else. He's pure love. Well, if there's going to be any love and any justice, then we need to pull out the truth. We need to face the truth, And we need to charge these bastards, try them, and if they're convicted, then sentence them appropriately and carry out the whole sentence and not commute it and say, nah, we can't do that. That's too ugly. Jesus would never do that. You got to realize something. These are dangerous motherfuckers. These people will commit crimes from the solitude of a prison cell very easily. They'll bribe the guard. They'll send a little note out there saying, kill so-and-so for me. And somebody will kill so-and-so for them. Or, hey, go after some little girl, this or that. This is what I want you to go after. This is my favorite type, man. I like this type. And I want you to tell me all about it. No, man. Let's just snuff out their lies and be done with their evil, wicked ways. Do they deserve to live? Oh, now you're going to tell me, Dr. Kent, you're required to turn the other cheek. What kind of Christian are you? Oh, hold on. Did I just call myself a Christian? I don't like the name. I don't like the term. I like the old-fashioned religion. I like the Old Testament. I like the religion in which you search for the truth, you declare the truth, and you judge based upon the truth, and you administer judgment. Why? Because that's love. Failure to do that is failure to love. Oh, but Jesus saves. Jesus saves. Jesus can save anyone. Really? Show me that in the Bible. You dumb son of a bitch. Show me that in the Bible. Show me where it says Jesus can save anyone. Now, could he? Would he? You'll have to ask him. I don't speak for him. Yeah, I deliver messages. Just a damn errand boy. What do you expect? I don't like the job very much. Yet, it's like changing tires on a big truck. It's a dirty job. Nobody wants it. Somebody's got to do it. It gives me job security. Like I told you, man, I don't want to be up high in the streets or the gates or the mountains of heaven. I mean, I don't want a high position up there, you know. I just want to sweep the streets, be there and the average guy is, average woman is. So I can walk upright, do my job, and talk to people and enjoy myself. Those other grades, those other responsibilities, those duties, and that ain't exactly the life. It's like my dad could have gone up in rank at any time. Just had to be willing to go to the Pentagon. I'm so glad he didn't do that. She likes to lick my feet. And it's excruciating to me. It's not fun at all. Can't really stop her. You're a good girl. Come on up here. Oh, yeah. Hi. Good morning. Oh, yeah. Oh, what a pretty girl. Oh, okay, that's enough. That's enough. No. You're having too much fun. Okay. All right. Oh, she's pushy. Yeah. You're a good girl. You're too pushy. Yes, you are. My little lion. Look at that tail go. Okay. Oh, such a pretty girl. Oh, gentle. It's like you're going to pet me no matter what. That hand's not going to stay there separate. I want both hands on me. That's your job. Do your job. Rub me. That's all you go. No teeth. No, off. No, off. She just about knocked me with her teeth. We're not allowed to do that. No touching with the teeth. Touching with the teeth does that. Yes, good girl. Down. My mouth is extremely dry, so I must be taking too much of a certain supplement, throwing my body off, causing the cramps. I had Indian food tonight, and I ate it all. And usually I just eat half of what I buy, half of the serving, because it's a lot of food for me. I'm not that big. Not anymore, and I'm trying to cut back on the amount of food I'm eating anyway. And the spinach was medicine for me. Remember that the difference between iron and hemoglobin, the difference between hemoglobin and chlorophyll, they're identical structures, but the difference is that hemoglobin is built around a molecule of iron, whereas chlorophyll, same structure, but it's built around a molecule of magnesium. So I was trying to get my magnesium from the spinach. Leafy greens, the medicine for the nation, the green leaves on the banks of the river of life. Maybe that's the problem. They're green leaves, but they're not on the banks of the river of life. You and I weren't sentenced to eat the dust. The serpent was. We weren't sentenced to eating poisons. The serpents are. You need to understand those symbolisms as I discuss this with you. I remember the first Hendrix album in which the giant Nadi, I think that's what you call it, or Naga, were above his head as giant snakes up in the air over him, anointing him. These are supposed to be the powerhouses of the world, running things in the background. The symbolism is everywhere, folks. Understanding it, not so everywhere. They have us, folks. They can do whatever they want. They have their one world government. It's all in place. And they're killing us as fast and as quietly as they can before we wake up and go after them. And we're taking it and we're dying just like they want. They're having a good time watching all this. Yet a little tiny group of us is waking up, realizing who they are and what they are. And now even the Jews are waking up properly, realizing that they've been used, they've been had, they've been used as human shields by the sons of Cain. It's pretty sad. And we have 6 different nations, armies have been brought in by Joseph Robinette Biden and the rhinos and the Democrats. They keep enlarging those armies every day. And the last army that will be coming aboard will be the Indian people, not the Native American Indians, but the Indians of the subcontinent, way the hell over there, just below China. Yeah, our friends and buddies and allies, the Indians, will turn their backs on us. That will be the end of it. All 6 nations will have been aligned. All 6 will have armies here in the country. All they got to do is get the weapons distributed, and they got truckloads of those ready to go. The CIA's got the weapons ready to go. Oh, and by the way, baby, they get full automatics. They get selective fire. You and I can't have that, but nothing's too good for our guests. They're going to get the full battle rifle, and we have to deal with that. I know, just sit on your ass, turn the other cheek. What would Jesus do? And let them build up to the point where they're just going to roll over our asses and genocide the fuck out of us. Yeah, America first means we take America down first. I don't trust Trump. He's one of them from what I can tell. And you guys have decided you want a king just like in the old days. So you're going to go to King Saul and turn your back, rejecting Yahweh. Whoa, baby. How'd that work out back then? Ask a little guy named David about that. See what he thinks of that. My. How much things stayed the same. David sinned, yet he was a man after Yahweh's heart. He paid for his sins. Look at what happened to his family, man. And you're telling me that all of those sins are going to be forgiven, and you and I can do whatever we want. We'll just nail his ass to the cross one more time. Yeah, baby, that's the way it is. You're going to crucify him all over again. Man, the last few days, I can't get it out of my head. Nothing but the blood of Jesus. I don't really want to harp on that. I don't want to be singing that tune in particular. Why? It bothers me. Why does it bother me? I don't understand that. I do not understand that. Yeah, I know. Is that the Bible that's offending me? Or is that the traditions of men? The idea that he's going to take care of everything and give us license to sin our asses off and we can do whatever we want, no consequences. It's all forgiven. Because he's up on the hillside picking flowers. That's his job. He's not going to ever wake up and deliver justice. He's not going to come back, dip his robes in blood. No. That's just all fairy tales. Yeah, it's in the Bible, but that's fairy tales. Those are Jewish fables. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm being facetious. If you catch it, great. If you can't catch it, fine. And there's things that I'm saying and bleeding through that I can't catch, that you get to catch. That's okay. I stand exposed to you. I am, well, this is not psychological nudity. This is worse than that. Come on, Dr. Savage, don't accuse me of committing psychological nudity. This is a bit more open and revealing than that. And Mr. Wiener, I actually kind of like your style. I've been compared to you before. A flow of consciousness. Some people said I was better than you. I don't think so. I think you were the best. You certainly got paid for it. How many cars do you have? You still have all those garaged up outside of San Francisco? Including your Mercedes 600, the 12-cylinder beast? No, I don't really want that. I want one more good car, though. Yes, I do. You don't want no damn Dodge Demon with whatever horsepower they make these days. That's just too much power. It's not subtle enough. It's not as graceful as what I really want. I want something that was made for me, like this rig. It was made for me. Try to convince me otherwise. But I know that there'll be a car that shows up someday, and I'll be screaming once again, the chariots of Israel. I've had some challenges. I've been able to overcome those. I have been blessed with understanding the nature of the poisons they've administered to me, to my sorry ass. I have survived and thrived. I've caught them. I only know part of what they do. They're getting away with a lot. I had the reputation of being the most dangerous man in the Central Unit down in the old Florence Penitentiary before they shut it down. Why? Well, the inmates said they hated me. They couldn't stand Dr. Kent because nothing gets past him. I laughed when I heard that. There goes looking at my feet again. At least the cramps are gone. I'm sure the inmates got plenty past me. I had to laugh when I heard that for a couple of reasons. One was the older officer who was telling me about me and my reputation didn't know who she was talking to. I had to tell her not once, not twice, but 3 times who I was before she finally looked at my name tag and realized she was talking about me to me. I know she was probably a little bit embarrassed by that, but that's okay. I didn't look like much, you know. I ain't that big a dude. I'm hanging out with those buff son of a bitches. They're really built, man. I wanted to be built like they did. Of course, they all wanted to be able to have brains like I had. No, you don't. You don't want to be plagued by the weight I carry. But you do want to live better lives than what you're living. You do want to make better choices than what I see you doing. Folks, I'd appreciate it if you would buy my Bibles. I need some funding. I've spent a tremendous amount of money on this motorhome. I hate to say I've not spared any expense, but I have spared several expenses. But when it comes to safety, I'm doing what I can. And I'm just getting her ready because I'm going to be running the country. And I have to be prepared to run at high speed. Don't ask me how fast. That's classified because not even I know. I've been asking people, what's the top speed of one of these things? How fast will they go? I don't want to find out on my own. She'll go plenty fast. It's like a little flying baby whale going down the road. It's a lot of mass going fast. I actually tried to go with middle of the road efficiencies so I could afford to run her. I could afford to feed her. If I maximize my efficiencies, which means I maximize my top speed capacities, and I don't use those capacities, but I just go down the road at 50 miles an hour, I'm going to be getting probably more than 10 miles to the gallon out of this beast, which is phenomenal for a bus. And I would like to do some other modifications so I can pop it up to as much as 15 or maybe 20 miles to the gallon. I don't know if it's possible. I think it is. But I have to take care of basics first. I've got instruments I have to replace. I just went with a whole new tire monitoring system with temperature as well because, that's a safety issue. And I'm doing this all by my lonesome. And my buddy across the way told me, man, there's only 2 sets of seatbelts in this rig. It's a 2-person rig, and that's it. And he says, oh, no. You got 3 more sets of seatbelts in your couch down below the cracks of that, below the cushions. And I said, don't tell anybody that. We don't want anybody knowing that I can carry 3 more. I don't want them. I like my solitude and my peace. So I guess it's a 5-person rig. You know what's crazy? Even the Bounder was 6 people could ride in it. If it was all set up properly, fix one of those chairs, you could have 6 sets. There were 6 sets of seat belts. It'll hold 6 people. And this sleeps 4. Bounder slept 4. This one has 1 water pump switch. Bounder had 3. This one, the hood is vented inside the cabin. I found out there's a charcoal filter up there. I'm sure it needs to be replaced. It's not a priority, but I should do it. And the bounder was vented outside. In many ways, the little bounder was superior to this thing. Please pray for me and my hearing. I don't have my hearing aids in. I'm hearing intermittently off the right ear. And it's just coming aboard bit by bit. And so I have hope. I guess the magnesium juice tastes good to her. Leave it alone. Go lay down. I don't know if it's good for her. Good girl. What a pretty girl. Yes, what's a good girl? To think I wanted two of them. Can barely handle one of them. She's a good girl. Went into Camping World today and she managed herself quite nicely. She is getting more reserved. So I can tell her not to bark. I can tell her to relax. I can tell her. She's always watching my back though, which is nice. She's a better judge of character than I am. Thank God. She didn't like the guy, the RV tech guy I've known for more than a decade. She didn't like him at all. I should have listened to her. She knew better. Those people continue to prosecute their weird claims in court after all the damage they did to me and to my rig. And it's stressing me terribly. It really is. But I won't be coming back here. I will never step foot in their store again. I won't have anything to do with them. They lost all of their rights, honors, and privileges to talk with me. I actually helped that family quite a bit. You hang out with me, you get free therapy just by my inherent nature. You have all that, all the knowledge base, all that wisdom to tune into. But then I guess you think that it's okay to predate upon me. Yahweh doesn't like that. Yahweh's not going to allow it. So I get to go through the stress and strain of establishing boundaries. It's kind of painful. It's difficult. I know the average person doesn't have trouble with it, but I do. I wasn't allowed to have boundaries when I was a child. I wasn't allowed to set limits on family and family members like I should have been able to do when I was a child. I know a lot of people out there say you want to be empathic and you want to, be able to mind meld with other people and read their stuff. No, you don't. You want healthy, good boundaries. You want to leave their shit in the dust where it belongs. They really you should have nothing to do with them. You should walk off from them, which is what I will do here when I'm able to. But until then, they tied it in with me, and I'm going to proceed with lawful processes. They're not going to be happy with that. I'm just discovering how to do the stuff. It is kind of really, really bad stuff, man. I don't like doing it. It is playing the hardest ball you've ever played in your life. And the problem is if you let up a little bit, you get screwed up. So you have to play it to the hilt. You can't just forgive and forget and walk off, because these people, well, they'll do something terrible to you. They'll think they can do something violent, and you're going to allow it and permit it. Sorry, they've already threatened me. Once that occurred, I ain't talking to you again. You're not entitled to any damn thing. You're not entitled to my time anymore. So I have to go slowly, baby steps, because I'm learning, as old as I am. And it really bothers me that people can pretend to be your friend and they know you're an old man, and they know you're vulnerable. They know you don't have much time left, and they know that you're susceptible to stress and strain, and yet they're going to do this shit to me in the courts. Fine. Fine. We will go to court. I don't like their courts. They're guild bar association courts, which don't even belong on our soil. They're actually unlawful. The 13th Amendment of the Constitution barred the bar associations. But your wonderful Abraham Lincoln Springsteen Rothschild, that's right, your President Rothschild. Ah, man, I lost track. You better sort it out. It ain't all on me. I ain't taking your responsibility. I paid dearly for my education. I don't owe you a damn thing. Yeah, I'd like to tell you more. I'd like to give it to you, but I can't hang on to those thoughts very well, and I am stressed. I need some sleep. And it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to open up the windows and get some fresh air in this place. And I'm going to suck down as much water as I can stand. There's too many spices in that food for me to eat the whole plate myself. Whew. And hope that I survived my meal from last night. I have no leftovers to eat. Oh. Yahweh's going to bless me with some nice sleep. May Yahweh bless you. Thanks for hanging out with me a little bit. Share this stuff. Get other people to wake up. We used to talk about waking up, and they decided they wanted to do a psyop on it, so they invented wokeness to taint it. Evil is always imitating good. Don't let that happen in your life. Be prepared to kick those people to the curb and walk off. You can forgive better from the distance. And never forget, lest you make the same mistake. Yahweh bless.